Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to another collab video. This month is going to be jam-packed with collabs because we're doing another one today and there are still more to come. Today I'm going to be collabing with Tina, who is Everyday Monet here on YouTube, and I heard about her through Georgia Harris. Georgia did a collab with her and I found her channel, subscribed, and she's just a really sweet lady. She puts out a lot of really fun content. She does tutorials. She does Get Ready With Me. She also talks about makeup, and she's doing this series called like I Can, and it's going through the different aspects of your makeup and just, you know, saying it like you can do it and here's how, and we all learn and we all grow together, which I think is fantastic. And as you saw from the title, today we are giving you our top 10 splurge and save products. So there's 10 products in total, but we're going to give 5 products that we say splurge on and then 5 counterparts to that where they're very similar. They're not exact dupes, but they're very similar, so if you want to save, get the cheaper alternative. So 5 in each category, and I'm really excited to get started, so let's just jump right in. Also, if you're curious about my eyes, it is the Gemini palette from Melt Cosmetics, and I should have already posted my review for it, so I can link it up here if you want to see, but I am loving the greens. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first product that I thought of as, yes, a total splurge is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This product has been my favorite for a very long time. I just think it's really fantastic. I like how lightweight it feels on the skin, but it still gives a very nice amount of coverage, and it doesn't give you a whole lot of creasing, and it honestly doesn't break up either, which I think is the more impressive thing. Because for me, like, I'm always going to get some kind of creasing underneath my eyes because I have a lot of fine lines, and when I smile, those fine lines stand out, and I smile a lot in a day, so I get a lot of lines by the end of the day, but nothing crazy with this concealer, but it also stays put. There's a lot of concealers that I think are really great, but halfway through the day they do tend to break down and just don't look as nice as when you first apply, whereas this I feel like really stays in, holds on all day, and just looks really, really nice. To date, this is my favorite high-end concealer, and this is actually my second tube. I completely finished my other tube of this. I panned it in a project, scraped that baby clean. I loved it, and I'm so glad to have a new one to dive into. But yeah, I love the consistency of it, and I love how much coverage it still gives you even though it's such a thin formula. And if you're curious, I get the shade, what is this, light warm, because I like it to really brighten my under eyes. But yeah, it's just got a very nice amount of coverage, blends so beautifully, doesn't take any effort at all, gives you nice coverage, really brings some life to my under eyes, kind of camouflages the dark circles, and yeah, I just really love it. But if you're not wanting to spend $20+ on a concealer, another alternative that I highly recommend and honestly think are very similar in formula is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I feel like everyone raves about this, and for good reason, and I honestly think that they're pretty darn similar. They have a very similar formula. They blend out similarly, and honestly, I've never worn these side by side, but I feel like they'd probably hold up the same because I feel like I grabbed for this for the same reasons that I grabbed for this formula, but maybe this holds on a tiny bit more. I don't know. I also panned this in a previous project, or I don't even know if it was a previous project. I think I just panned it, finished it. This is a new tube that I've had sitting aside because I'm trying to finish up a couple other ones, concealers, before I open it, but I just can't not have it in my life anymore. I'm gonna pull it into my next Shop My Stash because I miss it. But yeah, just looking at them side by side, they're very similar in formula. They kind of blend out the same. They give a lot of coverage. I would say between the two, I feel like Urban Decay gives a little bit more coverage than the Maybelline. But overall, besides that, they're pretty darn similar, and I think this is like $8. So if you can't budget in a more expensive concealer, definitely try out the Maybelline one and see if that meets your needs, and then maybe one day you can save up and splurge on this because yes, it's more expensive, and yes, I do have this one that is very similar. I see a lot of similarities between them, but there's something about this Urban Decay one that I just love, and I didn't want to not have in my collection. And so yeah, I bought another one. I bought it on sale. That's another idea for these splurges. You don't always have to just save out that money and splurge on it full price. I think I got this half price or 40% off. It was during one of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, I believe, or maybe it was like a, you know, a steal for one day or something like that. I got it at a good price, and I'm very excited about that, and I'm glad to have it back in my collection. But yeah, this is the first set where splurge or save. Next up, to blend out that concealer, I would definitely say a splurge is the Sigma F79 concealer brush. I love this brush for blending out my concealer. It's just really nice, and I think the aspect that I love most is that it has this dome shape to it, so it makes it so easy to just get in there and blend it out and kind of blend it down, and you can just rotate this as you go, and it makes blending so easy, so effortless, and I love it. If I'm not using a beauty sponge, not using my finger, this is the brush. I've got a couple other concealer brushes in my collection, but honestly, this style is my favorite, and these bristles are so incredibly soft. I know Sigma is a little pricey, but wait for a sale. Use someone's discount to get it at a cheaper price, because it is worth it, and they do hold up really, really well. But if you want to save, I highly recommend the Morphe G2 brush. This is really nice. Honestly, super duper similar. This is just a little bit smaller and probably a little more tapered. If you look at it this way, I feel like, yeah, the Sigma one is just a tiny bit smaller. Honestly, not that big a deal though, pretty darn similar. I would say that the bristles on this one aren't as soft and just, I don't know, soft and easy to blend out as the ones on this. So there is a difference in quality, but if you are on a budget, if you don't want to splurge for that, or you just can't splurge for that, this will get the job done really well. I purchased this initially and used it and was loving it, and then I purchased this after that and found out how much better this one is. So I don't use this one as much, but I do keep it for backups when this is too dirty and I haven't had a chance to clean it. I will use this. I do enjoy it. It gets the job done very well. It hasn't fallen apart, so I think this collection, I don't know, gunmetal collection, I forget, is a little bit better than their more typical line of like black handle brushes. So I am impressed with that, with the quality for this, for Morphe. But yeah, I've had no issues with this brush and I really, really like it. And if you want to splurge, definitely recommend Sigma. You will get your money's worth out of it. It will last forever. But if you don't want to splurge on this, definitely save a little bit money with Morphe and you'll get the same results that you want from the Sigma. So we've got a lawnmower in the background. I'm sorry if you can hear it. I will try to edit that out as best I can, or a little bit. I think I can do a little bit post-editing, but we got to keep going because I got to get this recorded today. Next, for Splurge, we're going to talk about setting powders, and I have been absolutely loving this Hourglass, what is it called? Veil Translucent Setting Powder. It's a very fancy packaging, like we don't even need to address that because Hourglass is so fancy, but I love it. It's really cool because this stopper is a well, so you can close it, flip it upside down, bang it, and then, turn it right side up, and then it just deposits the perfect amount of translucent setting powder that you need into the well to use. I find this formula to be extremely thin and just really creamy almost. It's so finely milled. It just disappears into the skin so beautifully. It's a matte finish. There's no kind of shimmer in it, which I love, and it does set, and it does absolutely work to help keep creasing from happening in your under eyes. So I love it for that. I've also set it for all over the face, which is nice, but I like using a powder foundation. I've been on that kick recently to use more of a powder foundation to set my liquid foundation, just to give me a tiny bit more coverage, but I have used it a couple times to set my face, and I do like it. But overall, I just find it a beautiful setting powder, and I really do like it. I like the aspect of the packaging and how this works to get the product out. It makes it very clean and not messy, so that is nice. I know you don't get a whole lot of product in here. Someone pointed out that you have 0.36 ounces, so not a lot and definitely not cheap. But if you want to splurge, I don't think you'll be disappointed with this. However, if you want to save, I'm going to say it again because I feel like I say this all the time, but the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. I feel like it just doesn't get any better than this. Now, I do want to put out a disclaimer. I have oily skin and I don't mind fragrance. So if you have, and I have pretty darn oily skin, I feel like. Maybe not the oiliest, but I have pretty darn oily skin. So if you have dry skin, normal skin maybe even, but definitely if you have dry skin, I don't think you'll like this powder. And then if you hate smells, that kind of negates this powder. You're not going to like it because it is a very strong, I don't know, floral kind of powder scent. I don't know what the scent is, but it is extremely strong. But that aside, I love it. And I don't mind the smell, and it works for my oily skin. So if you don't mind those two, I think you will love this and really enjoy it. It definitely is not as finely milled as the Hourglass, but if you use a lighter hand, you can get the same effect as the Hourglass. I just make sure when I go in, I don't pack this on and I don't like bake with it. I just put a tiny bit on my brush and set it, and I've done it many days in a row while I put the Coty Airspun on this side, and then on the other side I will put the Hourglass one, and at the end of the day, I really can't tell a difference. Maybe the teensiest bit of difference, like it's a tiny bit better on the Hourglass side, but I'm talking teensy bit of a difference. Like they're so close that I just, for the price difference, yes, if you want to splurge and treat yourself, I think you will love that and just really enjoy how it looks. And it is, as I said, the packaging is really nice, so it keeps it very clean. This packaging is not. You will get it very dirty by the time you use it. But if you want to save and you want to kind of get a steal product, I really think that the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder is so, so good. This is my second one of this. I panned it in a recent project panning challenge. I think I finished it at the end of the year. And I finally, this past month or month before that, I can't remember, but I just grabbed it back out to start using again, and I love it so much. I miss it so much. It's so easy and effortless. Like, I don't really have to think about it. I can use this to set my under eyes. I can use it to bake. I can use it to set my whole face because it does give me a little bit of coverage. It's just fantastic. And if you're curious, this has 2.3 ounces, and I want to say it's like $8, $7. I don't know. It's a good deal. I really do like it. These two behave so similarly that I definitely recommend this, and I think it's a good product. But if you're wanting to save some money, if you're wanting to get a steal of a deal, go with the Coty Airspun, and I think you will get the same effect. All right. Lawnmowers in the background. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about some liquid lipsticks. I am absolutely such a hard fan of the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick. I just think they're so easy. They're so creamy. They go on so well, and they stay so well. I can get these to stay like perfectly, nothing changing, no kind of ring around the inner lip for like a good 4 or 5 hours. And then they start to get a little, you know, not even bad, but they just start, you can see the wear. But for 4 or 5 hours with it looking perfect, I cannot get over that, and I love it for that. The formula is a little bit thick, but still thin, if that makes sense. It's definitely like a moussey consistency, but it's extremely opaque. The color is extremely opaque, so you only need to go over an area one time. You don't have to keep going back over it and make it get too thick. So I don't mind the thickness of this formula, and it, as I said, like, it's so opaque. You only need to go like one swipe. You don't need to go back over there filling in any lines. The dark colors in this collection are just as good as the lighter colors, which I find can be rare in a liquid lipstick line. A lot of times there's a lot of inconsistencies with the shade variations. But yeah, I just love them. They last so well. I love all the different colors. I love the nudes. I love the darker colors. I even like their metallic liquid lipsticks in this formula. They don't last as long as these, but they're very pretty, and I like that they don't get glitter everywhere. But anyway, we're just talking about the matte versions. Overall, I really love this. I've recommended it. I want to say I've owned these, not these kinds specifically, but I first found them and tried them 2-3 years ago, and I'm always trying liquid lipsticks, and these still are a favorite of mine, and I really do like them and highly recommend them. But since those are low pricey, if you don't want to splurge on those, I definitely recommend saving a bit of money and getting these Pixi ones. Now, I know Pixi isn't super affordable, but it is a little more inexpensive than the Smashbox ones, so I feel like it still does count for saving that money. The formula is also pretty darn similar, except I would say that the Pixi's is a bit thinner in formula, but still just as opaque. It still has a creaminess to it. It still has the opaqueness to it that the Smashbox does, but it's just a hair thinner in formula, so it sits a little more, it glides a little more easily on the lips, sits a little more comfortably on the lips, and lasts beautifully on the lips. I only have nude type shades, nudes and mauves from this line, so I have no idea if they have darker ones or if there's any inconsistency, you know, if they do go darker. But overall, like, just comparing the formula, I feel like I get the same results with this one as I do with the Smashbox, and it doesn't cost as much as the Smashbox ones. And I'm someone who likes liquid lipstick, so I should put this disclaimer out for both of them. I love liquid lipsticks. I'm not a gloss person. I'm not a lipstick person. I will wear them, but I don't prefer them. And if I'm going to go out anywhere, especially with my children, if I want to wear lipstick, I go for a liquid lipstick because I can put it on and then not worry about it. So for me, these two are one of the more comfortable matte liquid lipsticks that are out there. And I just find them very easy to wear, no issues there. And yeah, if you want to splurge, highly recommend the Always On matte liquid lipsticks from Smashbox. But if you want to save, Pixi's the way to go. All right, so the last one, I actually don't have either of them, but I have a lot of experience with both of them, so I'm still going to include them, and I scooted over so I can put the picture here. So for Splurge, it is the LORAC Pro front of the line liquid liner. I have gone through 2 or 3 tubes, I think just 2 tubes of this, because I just find it so pretty. It's very easy to use. The tip of it is a brush tip, which is my preference when I'm using a kind of shake it up pen liquid liner form. They're just so much easier to get a really sharp wing to your look, and if I am in too big of a hurry to use gel, this is what I reach for a lot, this type. It is fantastic. It stays on all day. I have no issues with it. It's very easy to create a wing. I think it's a really great liquid liner to use if you are a beginner wanting to figure out how to do liquid liners. I highly recommend it. It does have a shiny finish to it, so that's why I say it would be a liquid liner. If I'm in a hurry and I don't mind having a shiny finish, I would use it, but if I wanted a matte finish, I'd tend to do a gel liner, because a gel liner would give me that matte finish that I like. But if you don't mind a shiny kind of black looking finish to your wing liner, the LORAC one is fantastic. Definitely worth the money. If you can splurge for it, get it. You will enjoy it. And it was my first liquid liner pen that I ever had, and it is what introduced me to the world of a winged liner. But if you don't want to spend that money on the LORAC one, the Jessie's Girl liquid liner is so good and basically a dupe. I mean, pretty darn exact dupe. It has the same type of finish, it has the same brush applicator, it gives you the same kind of finish, it gives you the same kind of long-lasting wear. I didn't do a dupe or dud for this, but I did in the past do one for the Physicians Formula one, which I will leave the link down below to my dupe or dud post. I think is an exact dupe, but I'm choosing the Jessie's Girl to include in this one because it's even a little bit cheaper than the Physicians Formula one. So any one of the three, honestly, LORAC one, the Physicians Formula one, or the Jessie's Girl one, they all look and behave exactly the same whenever I used it. I could not see a difference. I would use them and I did them on my arms side by side. I rubbed them. They wear the same. They look the same on the eyes. They're just as easy to use. They all have a brush tip applicator. So those all in my eyes are such good dupes for the LORAC one. But if you want to save, definitely check out the Jessie's Girl. But that is my last one for splurge or save. LORAC if you want to splurge, and Jessie's Girl if you want to save. So there you have it. Those are my picks for top 10 splurge or save products. I had a lot of fun thinking through my collection and kind of seeing like, okay, what products are similar that I love for the same exact reasons and that I think are so close that they could be interchangeable almost, but one you're splurging on and one you're saving on. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely go over and check out Tina's channel and see which product she is picking. I will have her video linked down below. Let her know that you came from me and tell her I said hi. And if you're coming over from Tina's channel, thank you so much for checking my video out. I hope you did enjoy my picks, and I am very curious, Tina, to see what you picked for this collab video and your top 10 splurge or save. But with all that said, that about wraps up this video. Hit thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye, guys.